welcome to Jammu in Conversation with series. Our guest of today is someone who has made her mark in the male-dominated business world. A renowned textile designer who has spent many years of learning and designing home textile and saris for the likes of House of Fraser, Satya Paul and Tommy Hilfiger. Owner and director at Splendor of Kashmir, a sincere endeavour to promote old age Kashmiri shawl work from Kashmir. Her clientele includes Maharana of Udaipur, Sara Pilot, Dr. Farooq Abdullah, speaks volumes of her work. We wholeheartedly welcome the leading businesswoman of the state, Mrs. Varuna Anand. Hello ma'am, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me over.
You are a textile designer by education background.
That's right.
So when did this draw to entrepreneurship happen for you, and why Pashmina work?
Pashmina has been shawls are an integral part of Indian textiles, something we have studied. My exposure to shawls happened only after I got married and came into J&K. I was based in Delhi. I got married 14 years back and I came to J&K. And that's when I realized that people living in Delhi probably don't even know what a good shawl is once I started seeing all the people wearing the shawls over here. So that got my interest, and I would just say destiny pulled me towards it.
So were you aware of the shawls you're talking?
Well, I was aware of different kind of shawls in Delhi. Honestly speaking, you don't get such fine shawls in Delhi. What I have seen over here, what I have seen in the family I'm married into, what I have seen the people wear over here, I have not seen people in Delhi wearing such high quality shawls. I was enamored with them from the time I got married and came in this state, and I think destiny pulled me towards them.
So what is so unique about the drapable art pieces that Splendor of Kashmir make, and what kind of details goes into them?
See, basically there is a lot of work which goes into creating a shawl. These craftsmen are extremely talented and work very hard to create each one of these pieces. It's not only the man hours, it is when you talk about weaving a shawl, which is a Kani shawl, on the loom, it's a very difficult process. It is a jacquard process which is done on a hand loom. The process is difficult, it is intricate. Similarly, the embroideries are very intricate. What we want to present to the people is, or assure the people is, that still in Kashmir, these shawls are being done and created, which is what we want to take to the people. So this is what I would say is the speciality of the shawls we are taking to people. We are taking work intense and very finely done shawls. Because over a period of time, what one has noticed is, people buy a shawl and the only thing they want to ask you is this Pashmina? I want to tell them, you don't pay so much money just for Pashmina. Pashmina is an expensive fabric. You are paying for the art of shawl making. It is the intricate embroidery done on a fragile fabric like Pashmina which creates the art and makes it drapable art. No piece, no two pieces in a shawl can be the same, because it's like an artist. He does not recreate the painting he makes.
Pashmina work really goes way back to 18th century. It was an iconic statement even in European countries.
Absolutely.
In today's time, how do you infuse modernity to your designs and yet retaining the ceremonial charm?
What the Splendor of Kashmir is primarily doing, we do not interfere with the patterns.
Okay.
We are very proudly presenting the age-old patterns which have been done for embroidery. It is one of the oldest arts which has survived on royal patronage. It has been expensive from the time of its inception, it's a luxury commodity. So what we do today to make it more appealing to our clients is infuse a bit of different colors in it. From the boring naturals and blacks, and we want to give a twist of some colors like a red, like a orange.
Fluorescence also?
Well, we use a lot of fluorescent thread in our embroidery. There are different kinds of, for the embroidery, the standard stitches remain the same as they have remained over the years. So it's not so much the design we want to change, but we do infuse our creativity with our colors. These craftsmen are like artists. You do not block them by saying this is what I want. If you do that, they create disasters. You've got to give them their space, and you've got to tell them, yes, this is the design, this is how I perceive it. Rest I leave to you, and hope that they do what you want. Because if you try and push your ideas to them, they will not be able to create. They do not like their creativity curtailed.
Okay.
They just like a little bit. They'll ask you, what are the kind of colors you want? Do you want very bright? Do you want this? There are times we tell them certain colors can be, maybe we think they don't gel together. So we just politely tell them that no, this is how we think. And then they create the shawl.
And how easy is that transformation?
Not very easy at all. It's very difficult. I don't speak Kashmiri. I have people in Kashmir who help me with this.
Okay.
So it is not easy to deal with them, definitely. Because they're the locals, it's the biggest cottage industry of the state. Well, we have people who explain it to them. And not to say every piece created is beautiful. But yes, every piece which we present, we try and present the best.
Coming back to the weavers, this art has been passed down since generations. And like these days, we don't get the work which we used to get probably say 30 years back. I remember my mom is from Jammu, and the kind of shawls she had, I think it's called dorukhi work, and that, yes. What is it?
I totally agree. The dorukha work is no longer available. There are no artisans who make that kind of work. But I would like to say definitely that the kind of work which we are showing today, we have had our clients, old clients, connoisseurs who have come and told us that, well, this can go back to something which maybe we've seen 50 years ago. Okay. So that is the kind of craft we are presenting. When you have to present a shawl like that, every piece takes long. Yeah. There is a lot of work which goes into creating that. So there are still craftsmen, and that is the idea of Splendor of Kashmir, to promote this, that there is still very fine work which goes on. See, today it's a big market. There are so many shawls which are going out of Kashmir. There are all kinds.
Right.
And we don't want to dabble with the all kinds. We want the finest. We want to present the finest to our clients. And that is the idea.
Coming to this scenario where, artisans are not probably, their children are not carrying this work. So don't you find it difficult at times to find the right kind of craftsmen, and they're more lured to say less labor intensive jobs?
Sure. That is the biggest problem today. A craftsman who has been doing this all his life, maybe this child doesn't want to do it anymore because it's easier. Not easy to get a government job, but well, the thought of getting a government job and living a cushier life seems more attractive than working so hard on a shawl. Definitely, that is a problem, and hence we say it's a dying art, because you may get a craftsman, but he may not be as good as what you want him to do.
Exactly.
So there are traditional craftsmen for generations they have been doing this. But yes, if they have 5 children or 6 children, maybe 2 will carry on with this. You see, also being in Kashmir, the winter is harsh. There's not very much which can be done during those months.
Right.
So this is something which a loom may be there in a village, maybe in everybody's home.
Exactly.
So it is something which they can do, they have seen all their life, and they can earn a living through it. If nothing else, they can earn a living through it. But yes, the younger generation today may or may not want to carry this on, definitely.
Splendor of Kashmir was envisioned by your husband, Mr. Varuna Anand. Probably he had seen that thing that he wanted to preserve the dying art of Kashmir. So did you pick the intricacies of business from him?
Absolutely. He started this, and he wanted me to pursue it. And I would say he is my guru, my business guru, who's taught me how to present something. And see, I was always fond of textiles. It was the subject of something which I loved. But yes, it was Praveen who pushed me into this and got it started for me.
So what is the source of strength today when he's not around for this, strong-headed young women we have here?
Well, I would say a commitment to him, since it was so dear for him to start this for me, a commitment to carry it forward, a commitment towards my children to carry it forward. And again, it's something which I love. So I'm so glad that he gave me this opening and pushed me towards it, and we move forward with it.
It started in 2011.
Yeah.
And today it has reached a glorious pinnacle. I mean, it's really remarkable. So in your professional life, do you have that sense of completeness, or do you still feel the hunger to achieve more?
Well, I think it's very kind of you to say all this to me, and yes, God is kind. We've come a long way, but I still think there's a lot more to do. There are a lot more places to reach, a lot more cities to reach, and I guess we must work towards that. We still, I'm selling online, so internationally as well, but maybe carrying an exhibition overseas as well. That hasn't happened. So there's lots more to do, I would say.
How's the response by places abroad on the net?
I am amazed for the kind of people. It could be a lady from Hong Kong, it could be a lady from Japan. It's amazing how much they know about the textile. I mean, I might have to read up a book before I go and meet them sometimes. Okay. Because that's the kind of knowledge they have. They can be as specific as what kind of stitch they want.
Okay.
I very recently met this lady, and she's a Japanese lady, and she was even specific on the stitch she wanted. So I just asked her, okay, so what kind of a shawl? And she said, I'm looking for a jamevar, a Sozni jamevar. And oh, I forgot to tell you, I own 50 already.
Oh, that's great.
So it's amazing. I mean, when they say that this is a textile which has been wanted all over the world, it is a fact, it is true. There are still people who are lovers of this art and this textile, and there is a huge scope for this these shawls.
Being a woman in business, and a very successful one, and a role model, a great mother, how's it all from the gender lens?
See, life is not easy for anybody. Being a woman just adds to it being a little more tougher. Yeah. So every role is not that easy to play, but then I guess in my case I would say no option, no choice gives you the strength to move forward, and that's about it. There are times when it gets very difficult, you feel exasperated, but I would say God is kind. One by one, a way opens for you, and you find a new destination.
Any last message you'd like to give to the viewers, especially the women who just wants to make a mark and take a leap?
Sure, anybody can do it. There is nothing extraordinary anyone has. You just have to have faith in yourself, move forward, have the blessings of the Almighty. If you believe in something, you can achieve it. I would just say, keep your faith strong, keep your head held high, and move forward, and bit by bit, ways will open.
Oh, those are really wise words, huh? Really, I mean, for me, and I'm sure for many women out there, you're like a role model. Thank you for sharing your journey, and all the best for all your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on your show. Thank you.
Varuna surely has left all of us with a strong impression that with sheer will, dedication and dare, one can achieve what one aspires for. We leave you with that thought. Keep watching Jammu Links in Conversation with series. Take care and God bless.